This needs to stop. This absolutely needs to stop. I am tired of people being exploited and then having their vulnerabilities played with to take their money. That's what we're going to be discussing live here tonight on the show. So stick around for all of that and much, much more that's coming right. From Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. So that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. That's right. I am here to help as many people as possible get a better grip on their lives. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter if you're on the left, the right, or down the middle. I love each and every one of you equally, and I really wish everyone else would understand that in the same ways. But I can help you. At least I can do my very best to help you try to understand that. Now, before we get to the show here tonight, once again tonight, I want to pay special props to this channel's sponsor, Mr. Troy Brewer. He is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. For all of your product and service needs from the most trusted professionals in the industry, please consider visiting www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. One more time, that's www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. When you go on that website, you will see a bunch of talk and music internet radio stations, and more than likely, one of those talk or music stations is going to suit your genre needs. So if you like talk radio and if you like listening to music throughout the course of your days, please consider visiting www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, that's www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. Both those links are below the description, about a third of the way down. And if you go to those links and also find out how to send an email to Troy and connect with it, because he's a great marketer. He runs a marketing company and he is amazing. Please mention that Coach Eli sends you with lots and lots of love, and also wish him a happy holiday season as well. All right. Happy holidays to everybody out there tonight. Let me make sure that the notification has gone out. It looks like it has. And let me check out the back end just to see if things are rolling smoothly. It looks like it is. Got an excellent stream status. And thank you to the people in the chat already. Thank you to Mutt Nuts World and Firewolf Studios for being here. Once again, folks, if you're new to this channel or haven't been here in a while, my live streams are still publicly available. But if you do want to chat in my live stream chats, they have become members only. Unless you're a moderator, you bypass that. You get a freebie as a moderator because we're collaborating in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not going to charge moderators because they're already, working with me and I'm working with them. If you do not want to become a member, the only other way you can chat is by going to the bottom of the chat where you see that $sign. You can send as many super chats as you'd like. But if you send more than $5 worth of super chats, why not become a channel member for $4.99 per month, and then you can chat in unlimited ways. Okay. Now, just understand, if you do become a channel member, you're still, going to be, held accountable to my channel's rules. So if you violate the peace, if you attack other people, if you project your insecurities onto other people, towards myself or my moderators or anyone else in the chat, even as a member, you will get banned. And unfortunately, there are no refunds for that first month of your membership, but then you can go and cancel it the month afterwards, which is what some people have done already. I've already had some people purchase memberships just to take a stab at me, and they get that stab, and most of the time my spam filter catches it, so it won't even hit the chat. They take that one stab, I ignore it, and then I ban them, and I say, thank you for the $4.99. Best of luck to you. Take care. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. When you're as secure within yourself, and I did a stream yesterday on insecurities. Go check that out if you missed it. When you're that secure with yourself as I am within myself, these things don't faze me. I handle them professionally, properly, and maturely, and move forward with people that truly want to learn and get ahead in positive ways. Again, my allergies are acting up, so I may have to clear my throat every now and then. Give me a second. All right. So the title of tonight's stream. Well, before I get to that, let me just get to the chat first. Let me say hello to my moderators here. Muttnuts World in the chat. She says, hey, Eli and everyone. Hey, Mutt, welcome to the show. Firewolf Studios is here. Hey, welcome, Firewolf. Thank you for being here. And Mutt says, hey at Firewolf. And Firewolf says, hey at Muttnuts World. Firewolf Studios keeps on, feeling excited about his, iPhone. Which one did you say you have? You have the iPhone SE second generation, iPhone 8. I think it's what it is. That's the one you have, the iPhone SE second generation. See, here's the thing, and I'm really glad, Firewolf Studios, that after having that phone for a few days, that it brightens up your day. You can't stop talking about it. I've had my iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is the top of the line, the best iPhone you can currently get. I've got it all decked out with 512 gigs of storage space, the most you can get, 6 gigs of RAM, the A14 Bionic. It's a great phone. But I got my thrill off of it for 1 or 2 days, and now it's okay, I've got a great phone that's faster. It allows me to multitask. It doesn't crash at all. And it runs really well, and it is what it is. But yeah, you seem to feel like that's your new toy, like a little kid, bro. And if that makes you feel good, bro, then more power to you. I'm at a point in my life where, hey, yes, I was, excited about the phone on day one, and now, it's just integrated into my life, and it just is a lot better of a phone. It's just a lot better of a phone, which is what I'm trying to say, than using the iPhone 6 Plus that I was using for over 5 years, which, would crash every now and then because only had 1 gig of RAM. So anyway, Fireball Studio says, yep. All right, so let's continue here because I'm not going to be on too terribly long tonight. Firewolf Studio says, the iPhone SE second gen is a great budget iPhone. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, all iPhones are good phones, man. Even the lower end iPhones are made very, very well. Very well. And again, I'm not an Apple fan. I mean, I'm a PC guy. My laptop that I run these streams from, is a PC. Everything else I have is Windows PC. I just think the iPhone is the best smartphone you can get, better than the Androids, the Samsungs, etc. Right? But that's just my opinion. It is what it is. Okay, so the title of tonight's stream is Tim Pool and others continue jeopardizing their channels. Why he persists despite YouTube's new rule. One more time, Tim Pool and others continue jeopardizing their channels. Why he persists despite YouTube's new rules. I'm going to tackle something first here because, to be quite honest, when I come out here, I speak my mind honestly, maturely, professionally, and I don't attack anybody. I just state my opinions, and I clearly state that what I'm saying is not a fact. It's an opinion, okay? And I know a lot of people are going to come at me and say, oh, you're just clout chasing Tim Pool. Well, what if I am? What if I am? Why do you care, right? Okay? I'm actually not clout chasing him. I do have a valid response, and I'm quite unhappy with what he's doing, and I'm just going to share my thoughts. But yeah, if I trigger the YouTube algorithm while I'm doing it, why the heck not? How do you think other content creators got noticed on the platform. They started engaging with the community. So to those of you out there that want to come at me and say you're clout chasing Tim Pool, you're just trying to leverage his 1.3 or 4 million subscribers. So what if I am? What you going to do about it? Okay? What you going to do about it, right? Truth of the matter is, I have some things I want to share because, Tim Pool and other content creators such as him continue to, do stories regarding widespread voter fraud, which is not true. I'm going to come out once again and say that I know for a fact that it is not true, and I agree with YouTube's stance on what they're doing to remove videos where people are talking about widespread voter fraud and saying that it is a fact, which is not. It's not true when there's no evidence. All of those claims were baseless from the beginning, and nothing ever was discovered to make, any valid proof surface. So these claims are all baseless. But people like Tim Pool and other creators continue to talk about this subject. Sometimes in a roundabout way, sometimes directly. Sometimes they try to say, well, there are still other, members of Congress that are, saying there's widespread voter fraud when there isn't, right? So why is Tim Pool continuing to discuss this? Why? Because he has an audience of conservatives, vulnerable conservatives, in my opinion, that have been brainwashed by our president to believe this agenda is true. These people that believe there is widespread fraud, which there isn't, want to go and support creators that feel the same way and also pay them astronomical amounts of money like Tim Pool's been receiving by Super Chat through his streams. And it's really sad. I'll tell you why it's really sad. Because I've been following Tim Pool for a while. I've known about it for quite some time. But I started to follow him more closely earlier on this year as he started to more so push the agenda that he was voting for Trump in 2020. And I had known from the past, so I looked up a tweet that he put out. This was put out on October 20th, a few months ago. Tim Pool wrote, "I didn't vote in 2016. I'm voting Trump now." So Tim Pool did not vote at all in 2016. He didn't vote for Trump, and he didn't vote for Clinton. And Tim Pool, most of you that know Tim, has been more on the left most of his life, right? Up until this point, he was on the left, right? So you got a guy that was more on the left. And all of a sudden, he doesn't vote in 2016 because he didn't like the candidates. I can understand that. Many people felt the same way. But why did he all of a sudden switch from being, more of a liberal supporter and becoming a conservative supporter? Now, Tim Pool says, from what I've heard him say, but I don't know what to believe. He said that, he's not a conservative. He's more like down the middle. But it's funny to me, Tim, that all of your views lately have completely aligned with the right and the far right. So for you to come out and say that, you're not conservative, to me doesn't make sense. And then for you to all of a sudden switch from being on the left all your life to being on the right, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me too, except for what I'm about to say here. This is what I think that Tim Pool and other people, other creators out here on YouTube have been doing for the last 4 years and getting away with it. And this is why I feel YouTube is trying to stop this. Let me check out the chat real quick. I will stick with my Android, says Muttnuts World. Firewolf Studios says Trump News has gotten his streams taken down because of him talking heavily about the widespread voter. Well, he's talking about it, saying that it still exists when it doesn't. You see, I'm coming out here saying that I am on YouTube's side. It does not exist. There's no evidence of it at all. And I've never thought that for 1 second, right? There's nothing against YouTube's policies coming out and speaking the facts about this situation, right? But if you come out and say that it did happen when it didn't, and you continue doing that once it's been proven, especially now, that the vote has been certified by the Electoral College system. It's been certified. Joe Biden's officially the president. He's officially, the president-elect. So why are you going to argue a moot point? Why are you going to argue a moot point? I'll tell you why Tim Pool does it. I'll tell you why Tim Pool converted from being a liberal to being a conservative, or more down the middle, leaning more towards right, like he says. I'll tell you why. Because there's an audience that pays lots of money to creators that create that type of content. And to be quite honest, even though, like I've said in the past, I am a slight left liberal, I love everybody equally. I love views from the left and the right that make sense for the best overall interest of everyone, regardless of where you come from. What part of that don't you folks understand? To you conservatives out there, I don't hate you. You're people. I want to be your friend. We should all be friends. Why can't we all be friends? See, that's what Joe Biden wants to do. He's saying, look, you know what? Hey, why can't we all just work together for the better good of everyone, right? We've got all these issues in our world right now. We've got this pandemic where people are dying, and we're trying to get vaccines out there to help people. We've got systemic racism and things happening, people, just creating hate and attacking each other and beating each other up and sometimes killing each other over systemic racism. And it goes further than that. It goes into the job market, people being favored, right? This needs to stop. We've got so many bigger issues to deal with than the false claim of voter fraud. It never happened. Get over it. It's over. It's time to move on. Like my thumbnail says, this needs to stop immediately. I'm sick of it, right? So why is Tim doing what he's doing? Why does he continue to put his channel in jeopardy when he knows that YouTube is going to remove his streams and eventually shut down his channel? Why? Again, because he has an audience of vulnerable conservatives that have been, in my opinion, this is my opinion, brainwashed by the president to believe that all this bad stuff is happening and saying that the left is creating all this bad stuff when there's no proof of it at all. So all these people have been brainwashed by the commander-in-chief, all these innocent, vulnerable conservatives have been brainwashed to believe this. So they're looking for other creators and people to follow that feel the same way, right? It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And why are these people vulnerable? And let me say this as professionally and clearly as possible. I love everybody, whether you're on the left, right, middle, it doesn't matter. I love everybody. But the truth of the matter is this, and these are the facts. These are the facts here, okay? I'm not saying this about all conservatives, but many conservatives. Most conservatives are in the South and in the Midwest. And they are either considered lower class or lower middle class. Now, some of them are middle class and upper class, but the majority of these conservatives that have been manipulated and brainwashed to believe this false agenda, unfortunately, didn't have the best upbringing. Most of them don't even have, an education. No disrespect. A lot of them are very uneducated. And I say this respectfully. Okay? So they're uneducated. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They're lower class or maybe lower middle class. And these people, feel like they haven't had the same opportunities that some other people have had, like on the left, right? So they're very vulnerable people. They're more prone to believe what anybody tells them, right? Especially if it's the president. They're more prone to believe anything that comes out of his mouth, no matter how ridiculous it is, right? So when you have a creator like Tim Pool, when you have a content creator like Tim Pool that sees this and says, okay, I've been on the left all this time. I see a bunch of vulnerable, conservatives that are going through this. I'm going to shift my content more right-leaning, and I'm going to make a killing doing it. And all I have to do is play along with their agenda, and the super chats and donations will roll in. That's what I think he's doing. That's exactly what I think he's doing. So if you've watched a bunch of Tim's streams lately, in the title and during the stream, he'll still talk about the stuff that YouTube is shutting channels down for, or shutting down videos. Why? Because it gets those people there, and he literally gets thousands of dollars in super chat revenue per stream. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Again, I clearly state it's just my opinion. In my opinion, he's getting these donations from innocent, vulnerable, conservative people that have been, in my opinion, brainwashed by the president to believe this agenda that Tim continues to play off of, right? Because it's highly profitable for him. And you want to know something? It's pathetic to me. It's sad to me. It's sad to me. And not only has this happened on Tim's channel, I have seen a lot of content creators over the past 4 years out here on YouTube exploit innocent, vulnerable, conservative people, get them to buy into them, and then these people will donate every last penny they have to these creators because these creators brainwash them to believe how real they are, and they go along with what these vulnerable conservatives believe or have been led to believe. So these vulnerable conservatives feel like they have a place where they feel appreciated, and that's why they opened up their pocketbook. And in many cases, a lot of these people that donate don't have a whole lot of money. They don't. And it's really sad to me that I've seen this happen time and time again. Firewolf Studio says, I think YouTube has been strict on this along with other social media sites because if it wasn't controlled, it could cause a civil war, in my opinion. This is not about a civil war, dude. The truth of the matter is this. This is about content creators exploiting the vulnerabilities of, most right-wingers. Most right-wingers. I'm not saying all, but like I said, from what I've noticed, being on YouTube for 4 years and just paying attention, right? Most conservatives, most red states are in the South and in the Midwest. And most conservatives, no disrespect, like I said, these are just the facts. This doesn't mean they're bad people or they're stupid. They're not. Most of them have a very minimal education or no education at all. Most of them, a lot of them came from broken households. They didn't have the best upbringing. So they may not be in the best position to be able to understand certain things. And that's why people like Donald Trump and these creators, they prey P-R-E-Y, prey on their vulnerabilities. I know the last time I used the word prey in a video a few days back, I misspelled prey, P-R-A-Y. I made a mistake. I'm not allowed to make mistakes. I'm a human being. It's P-R-E-Y. They prey on these people. They prey on their vulnerabilities. And they further enable these people that have already been misled to believe that their agenda is even more right than they already feel it is, when it's wrong. It's a deep level of manipulation, and it all boils down to one thing. It all boils down to power, which is control, power, and money. What does Tim Pool want? He wants to be the greatest journalist, the greatest independent journalist in the world, right? He's a millennial in his 30s that's been doing this for over 10 years, right? He wants to make a name for himself. He wants to compete with CNN and Fox and everyone else, right? But is he being genuine? Is he being true to himself? Tim, are you being true to yourself first and foremost? Or have you just found something that is making you a lot of money currently? Because I watch his streams for 20, 30 minutes each day. Typically before I go live, he goes live. And I see those super chats rolling in, 50, 100, 20, sometimes 300, sometimes 500, boom, boom. And they come in, boom, 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 boom. We're talking literally thousands of dollars. I'm assuming he makes somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000 a show on super chats. If he does 5 shows a week, that's $20,000+. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to talk about things that aren't true. And continue to enable vulnerable people to believe something that actually isn't true, and there was never any proof of it being true. But Nuts World says, I am here listening and working on some stuff. All right, but I'm going to wrap this up in a few here. So why do I think Tim Pool is further doing this? I'm going to say one more thing here. Now, as far as other creators that are doing it, they're probably doing it for the same thing. Tim Pool's a very smart guy. He knows if he continues talking about this in the ways he's talking about it, saying that it did happen when it didn't, he knows YouTube is going to remove him. I am going to make a prediction. I think Tim Pool is trying to get removed on YouTube trying to get removed from YouTube purposefully. I'll tell you why. What happens when a big channel gets removed? What happened when Alex Jones got removed, right? It was huge news across the entire YouTube platform. It stirred up the controversy, right? It got all eyes on Alex, right? And I think Tim Pool has an exit strategy from YouTube to go to a different platform or even create his own platform, but he's going to go out in style. At least he thinks he is, right? So what happens if Tim gets shut down, right? If he gets shut down, everyone's going to talk about Tim on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, everywhere, right? Everyone will talk about Tim Pool. The other right-leaning channels that are doing the same thing will talk about Tim Pool and say it's unfair. You know, they're silencing conservative speech. They're silencing the independent creator. You're going to see all this BS. It's BS. They're not silencing anyone. They're not silencing anyone. But this is what I think he wants to do. Because he knows his time is limited. He knows his time is limited. He knows that, number one, in order for him to get the audience, he's getting 40, 50,000 live viewers every day. It's a lot. That's a lot. There are channels that have like 100 million subscribers, like PewDiePie, that don't get the numbers that Tim Pool gets. I've seen PewDiePie on some streams get maybe 15, 20, 25, 30,000 people. Tim Pool gets 40, 50,000 or more people on his streams with 1% of PewDiePie subs. A lot of people are tuning in. Tim knows that, right? Why? Because he's catering his message to a vulnerable conservative audience that's believing a false agenda. And I don't know whether Tim actually believes this agenda or he's just playing along with it to make the money or to make the name for himself. But again, I think what he's trying to do is get removed off of YouTube on purpose. So that way it creates so much controversy throughout the entire platform. And again, like I said, people will be talking and saying, oh, you're silencing conservative speech. You're silencing the independent creator. You know, you want to silence the truth. What truth? There's no evidence. There's no evidence of fraud. There never was any. If there was some, it would have been brought forth, right? Where is the proof? Where's the proof? Tim knows it, but he's like, okay, the audience is still here, so let's keep playing into it. Let's see how long I can play into this, keep the audience, keep the money coming in, keep the views coming in, right? And let's see how long I can do this until YouTube starts shutting me down. And then when YouTube shuts me down, I have an exit strategy for that. I'll go on to some other creators' channels or some other platforms, and I'll just whine about it, right? And then other creators that are doing the same thing that have not been shut down yet will whine about it, right? And then it'll be Tim's name in the spotlight for weeks, maybe months, right? I'm going to wrap up by saying this, folks. I heard something when I first became an entrepreneur over 13, almost 14 years ago at a networking event. Publicity is what somebody told me. Good publicity, bad publicity, all of it equals publicity. All that gets your name out there, good, bad, or indifferent. Now, while I can somewhat agree with that, and yes, you know, any way that you get your name out there, good, bad, or indifferent, people find out who you are. But why would you ever want to be known as someone that's a phony or a fraud or someone that does bad things to hurt people? I would rather be known as the guy that helps as many people as possible get back on track or get on track or continue to grow. Maybe they're already in a decent position and they want to grow more. I'm here to help people continue grow and move towards the right direction. And I'm here to eliminate drama and stop the hate. Stop all the hate and the violence, the attacks. But that's not what a lot of these right-wingers want to do. And again, I feel bad for them because a lot of them are uneducated. They came from broken households. They live in poor areas. They're living paycheck to paycheck. I feel bad for them. I honestly care and feel bad for them. I feel that, you know, I feel for them because they didn't have the same opportunities I did. I want to help those people. But because those people, you know, didn't have the best upbringing and because they're not the most educated people, a lot of the things they do are very harmful because they're not happy within themselves and they wish they could be better. They project onto other people. And instead of creators like Tim helping those people, he, you know, exploits them further and then takes their money. And if you question Tim, you know, and say, are you taking their money? He'll say, no, they're donating to me. Dude, they're donating to you because you're feeding into their agenda. You're giving them a platform, a big platform of yours, to come in and cry and whine about things that are not true, knowing that you're going to agree with them. And they keep paying you for that because that makes them feel good. It's pretty sad to me. Pretty sad to me. One Nuts World says, night, catch up with everyone later. Thank you for being here, Mutt. So that's all I had to say tonight, folks. Tomorrow's my birthday, December 17th. I'm trying to put together a show with some of my moderators. I've only heard from a few of them. I know it's a busy time of the year. I may or may not do that live stream tomorrow. I may just do a brief live stream by myself if I can't reach all my moderators by tomorrow morning. But if I don't do a stream tomorrow, I'll definitely be back on the 18th, which is Friday, and catch up with you all then. Folks, please be good to each other. Please, stop the hate, stop the violence, stop hurting other people to get ahead. If you want to get ahead in life, do it the right way, work hard, do your time. Don't exploit other people's vulnerabilities and prey upon their vulnerabilities to get their attention, and that way they feel inclined to give you money because you brainwashed them to believe that you believe in their agenda when you could care less about them. That's pretty sad. Keep doing that to other people, it's going to come back and bite you where. The sad thing is, a lot of people don't care. They're going to keep on playing that card like Tim is until the very end. Until he gets shut down. I don't see it changing. There are people like that. I really wish some people would just take more initiative to do the right thing rather than wait and be forced to do the right thing. All right, folks. I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you, Muttnuts World, for being here. Thank you, Firewall Studios, for being here. Thank you to everyone else that was watching behind the scenes. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.